Hello friends, today we are going to see the exercise of chapter 3, subject civics, the features of our constitution. Let us see what is the first question. Prepare a table to show the separation of powers in a federal government. The powers have separated in three lists, and we will see which subjects are included in these three lists. Let us see what is the first list. You can see here the first list is union list, second list is state list, and the third list is concurrent list. Means union list means on this subject union government can make laws for these subjects. In the state lists, state government can make laws for these subjects, and in the concurrent list, both union government and state government can make law for these subjects. Let us see which subjects are included in the union list. The first subject is defense. Second is foreign relations, war and peace. Union government can make laws for this subject. And let us see state list. Agriculture, local government, law and order. These subjects are included in state list. And in concurrent list means state government and union government or central government can make laws for these subjects: employment, environment and education. You can remember this by the trick 3E. Here you can see 3E. First E, employment, second E, environment, and third E, education are included in concurrent list. Employment, environment and education. It is very easy to remember. Then see, next question, find one word for. And the question number 1 is machinery for the governance of the entire country. And the machinery for the governance of the entire country is called union government. This is called union government. It make law for entire country. Machinery for conducting elections, that is called election commission. And the third list of subject for making laws is concurrent list. First list is union list, second list is state list, and third list is concurrent list. Let us see what is the next question. Question number 3 is answer the following questions, and the question number 1 from the question number 3 is why does the government function at two levels in a federation? In a federation, government function at two levels, means central level and state level. You can see here in the answer why government function at two levels. In countries with large territories and huge populations, government is run by a federal system. Like our country has large territories and huge population. So government is run by a federal system, and ruling large territory from a single capital city is not only difficult but may also lead to neglect of some far-flung areas. Means if there is only one capital city and only one government, they can not pay attention to this huge population or large territory. So, or some far-flung areas, means some areas are far away from capital city, so it may also neglect for these far-flung areas. And people residing there or people who live there cannot participate in the affairs of the government. Therefore, government function at two levels in the federation. So, people in far-flung areas cannot participate in the government. So, there are two levels of a government function in a federation. Question number 2. What do you understand by residuary powers? If a subject comes of that is not included in union list, state list or concurrent list, the union government is entitled to make laws on it. The power termed as residuary powers. means remaining powers. You can see here some subjects are included in union list, some subjects are included in state list, or some subjects are included in concurrent list. But the new subject which is not included in these three lists, and that new on that new subject only union government can make law on it, and this is called the power of this power term as residuary powers. Next question. Why has the constitution created an independent judiciary for India? The Indian constitution has created an independent judiciary. The constitution has made the judiciary more and more independent so that there is no pressure on the judiciary. Judiciary is independent, so there is no pressure on judges. The constitution has made several provisions to ensure that judiciary remains more and more independent. For example, judges are appointed by the president and not only by the government, and it is not easy to remove the judges from their office. Like this system or like this law, there are some laws that makes the judiciary system independent, because to do not give pressure on judges or judiciary system. So judiciary system is independent in India. Thank you.